This year I plan on entering Sky Art's Landscape Artist of the Year. This is step 1 on my journey. So the deadline for the Landscape Artist of the Year competition is the 14th of April. So that means I've got 25 days left to generate at least 3 landscape paintings. So the first scene I'm going to look at is a view of Exeter 4 Street. So looking down a steep hill and the hills beyond from the centre of the city in Exeter. So I'm starting out with my usual A2 mixed media paper, and this is a blue watercolour marker pen. And this kind of opening we have going down the hill in between the buildings, I've deliberately I want to set that off-centre to the left, because I think that's going to make things a little more interesting from a composition point of view than if I had it dead centre. So what I'm doing at the moment is just approximating the outline of the buildings on the left-hand side of the street. And I'm not doing too much detailed measuring at the moment, just kind of, doing it by eye. And then what I'll do in a bit, if needed, is I will correct things later. But one of the reasons I'm painting this particular scene is I've lived in Exeter for a long time now, and I've seen this view on many times before. But for some reason there was just something about it. The other day, I was just crossing the street and I looked left down the hill. And I thought, oh, that's a scene to paint. So I just stopped and took a couple of reference photos. And one of the things I've been doing quite a bit of recently is I've been doing somewhat surreal landscape or seascape paintings where everything is more or less as you would expect, except maybe there's a belted Galloway doing something odd, like traveling past on a paddleboard or something if it's a seaside scene. So I may add a little bit of a surreal twist to this with some of my farm animals, but I'm not sure about that yet. So some of the heights of these buildings aren't quite right. Should be up here somewhere. I've got a distant hill line coming in around about there. So this top of this left-hand building, it should be up here as well. And then we've got a bit of a sloped roof there, a church tower peeking through. I don't know whether to put this car in or not, so I'm going to leave it out for the moment. And the same with that tree. I don't know whether I'm going to put that in either. So again, we'll leave it out for the moment. That's about right. Something isn't quite right with what I've done though. So let's see what we've got here. The pavement kind of comes up to about there, and it cuts round, disappears off there. So I think I've just got the bottom edge of this building a little bit amiss. Yeah, I think it, what is going on there? It comes down there. I think it's the uphill nature of the scenario. It's sort of skewing the perspective a little bit from what I would expect, which is, you know, part of the interesting aspect of the scene. And then we've got the pavement here. On this side of the road. And then another pavement coming down there. So I've got things out of line a little bit here somehow. So I think that needs to come over there a bit. Yeah, that's a bit more like it. And then it goes off at some angle that way. So as you can see, I've just, you know, put in a little bit of simple line work. It's nothing too elaborate, but at the moment I'm fairly happy with the composition. There are definitely a few things which need to be fixed. I think that angle needs to be a bit steeper for a start. And obviously I haven't fine-tuned any of the architectural details, but I think it's enough for me to start to create a three-dimensional world with some big blocks of light and dark.